G'day, guys. Welcome back to Stat Chat Sports. You're here with BT and myself, Tazza. We're discussing Game of the Week this week. We had Carlton and Brisbane penciled down last week, which turned out to be a bit of a one-sided affair for Brisbane. But where you going this week, BT? What game have you picked for us?
We're going to Saturday night. This is guaranteed, 100% guaranteed, money back, best game of the week.
Money back, love it.
We're going Carlton versus Bulldogs. I think both teams, I think who loses this doesn't make finals. I think they drop out. I think this is a really important game. Even though it's still fairly early on in the season, I think this is a very important game for both teams. And based on form, you would obviously lean towards Bulldogs. But I think it's going to be a quality game because of the matchups we're going to see, like a Cripps versus Bontempelli, a Norton at one end of the ground, a Kerno at the other, a Libba on a Hewitt, a McRae on a Walsh. There's some quality of Bailey Dale, and then there's a Doc as well. And there's Ed Richards, who's had a quality year. And then you've got, Sard. And I don't think Newman's playing this week, is he?
I don't think so.
No. So there's obviously quality matchups around the whole ground. So that's why I've gone with this game. I think it's just going to be, it should be on paper, should be a quality game. It should.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't even factor in the matchups there. There is star quality all over the park there. Obviously, yeah, the battle of the key forwards really intrigues me there. I mean, Norton would obviously want to really get one over the two big dogs at Carlton. He's probably been a bit of a bridesmaid for the Coleman in the years that they've won. So I'm sure he's got a bone to pick with them. But yeah, the midfield as well, Cripps and Bontempelli. That just oozes class, that matchup.
Is there a better matchup, really? I don't think there's really a better matchup you can get because they're both big players as well. They're both contested beasts. They're both quality players. Obviously, Cripps Brownlow medalist. Bont's probably the favourite for the Brownlow at the moment. Just quality matchup between those. I hope they just go straight head to head.
Yeah, you'd think they would. I mean, just for the the pure spectacle of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we've spoken about Bont and his chances at a Brownlow, and this could be the handing over of the mantle. This game, I mean, handing over the title, the Brownlow medalist. I think it'll go some way to telling where Bont's at, especially. I mean, we know he's had a great start to the season, but I'd like to see him head to head just dominate. It sounds like I hate Cripps, but I would like to see it to really like stamp his authority on the competition and say he is the premier midfielder. What better way to do it than doing it against the reigning Brownlow medalist, really?
Exactly. And we're here at Stat Chat Sports, we're huge Bont fans. We always have been. So it would be hopefully he has like a dominating game. So that'll be awesome to see. I think the big difference here is in the ruck. You got the best ruckman in the comp in Tim English going against Mr. Worldwide and pitting that.
Worldwide.
So I think that's going to play a huge factor in this. If English does what he wants, which he practically has been nearly every game this season, and just dominates around the ground and in the ruck contests, then that's essentially an extra player Bulldogs have on the park. The way he plays is, and compared to the way a Pitnet plays, essentially they're playing with like an extra midfielder. So I think that's a key matchup there for which way this game could swing.
Yeah, and that's the point there. I mean, English is basically another midfielder. It's quite insane what the players around him, what they'll let him do with the ball. Most midfielders, most other midfielders don't trust a ruckman to. I mean, you see I saw a stat the other day. It was receptions from kick-ins. So basically marks taken from kick-ins. Mm-hmm. He's right up there. Yeah. I mean, they trust him. They really trust him. And it's not just like the big long ball down the line that he's marking. It's him pressing up to half back, basically, and grabbing that straight off the kick-in. And they'll trust him to use the ball outside of defence.
That's the thing. He can use the ball as well. As a big ruckman, he can actually use the ball. So you're not taking a mark and then a midfielder or a halfback's running past it. No, he's kicking it into the guts. He's kicking it down the line. He's just playing as an actual midfielder.
Yeah, he's an absolute unicorn. I mean, there really is nothing. I mean, obviously everyone's sung Gorn's praises over the last few years, but what English is doing is different. I mean, Marshall's obviously up there in terms of his ability to get the ball around the ground, but English is in another league. It took him a while to get there, and we weren't quite sure if he was going to. But as usual, ruckmen take a while to mature, and far out, he's far and away the best ruckman. And it's for me, it's not really that close.
I think this is equivalent to when Dean Cox made that push to be the best ruckman, arguably ever,
Yeah.
and changed the game as how ruckman played. I think this is what English is doing. Obviously, that's a big step up to talk about, compare a Dean Cox and Tim English at this stage. But the way he plays the game, I think that's the future of how ruckman need to start playing.
Yeah, and it's so unique.
Yeah.
What he does for a ruckman, we probably haven't really seen. We haven't seen as mobile a ruckman. Yeah, English isn't so dominant in the hitouts, but he's another midfielder. He can almost rove his own ball. Basically, it's quite unreal what he does. So I completely agree. He probably will end up changing the ruck game in a sense, or how to better utilize a ruckman. I think we're really seeing from English.
Yeah, exactly. So, who are you tipping in this game? How do you see it going?
Oh, jeez, Carlton burned me in the tips last week, so I find it really hard to go back there. I'm going to say the doggies. I do think the dogs will get it done.
Yeah, I'm leaning the same way. I think doggies are hitting some pretty good form, and Carlton's gone the other way. Obviously, they had that big win against Eagles, but that was against the Eagles, and then they should have really lost by more against Brisbane. I think doggies are just a better team. Hopefully, it's a really close game. That would be nice to watch, but I think doggies will get the chockies in this one.
Yeah, game of the week. You want it to be close.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, I'll cop shit from Josh. So
Absolutely.
Anyway, thanks for tuning into this video. If you disagree, give us your tip in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and tune into some of our other videos.